Thank you. Good evening. Muy buenas noches. And let me just say how proud I am, not only to come here every year, but this year to be introduced by your new CEO. Maria Salinas is exactly the reflection of this city, of this chamber, of our hope, of our dreams, and of tomorrow. And I want to just say in front of everybody, felicidades, congratulations. Maria, you make us proud. Give her another round of applause, and the entire team at the chamber here. To Jerry Newman, my dear friend, and to the entire board, to everybody who's bought a table, whether it was in the wings or right in the center, this is one of the biggest rooms in Los Angeles each year, and we've been graced to have our new Lieutenant Governor. Thank you, Eleni, for being here. We spent some time at City Hall. She's going to be a force for this state and for this nation. Congratulations on your election. And to Irvin, to Patrick, and to David, congratulations on these awards and all that you do for this city. Each one of you is an angel in this city of angels. I'm so proud to be on this stage with you as well. To my fellow elected officials, to business leaders, nonprofit leaders here, this really is a magical moment. You know, 2 weeks ago, it was raining, so I guess not a lot has changed there. Teachers were out on strike. We had no idea whether the Rams would win the NFC championship. We had government in Washington shut down going on 30 days, and things looked a little bleak. But here in LA, we never take a rainy day for granted because we know there's 310 days of sunshine here. And we know that there is optimism around the corner in every pessimistic moment, and we never let a crisis go to waste. During the strike, I was so proud that we could bring people together at a moment when this nation and this world feels like it's being pulled apart, where we saw that even the most vociferous enemies or people who have a lot to say about each other negatively can sit down and with some caring and with some focus and with some attention can say we actually all hold the same values. We want to see a better city and improved schools. We want to see investments in our young people. And that's what makes Los Angeles such a magical place. I love this city. As you know, a couple days ago, I announced that I will not be throwing my hat in to run for president in 2020. And let me tell you, that was an easy decision to make when I look at this city. Because when I look at LA, this is where my heart is. This is where our work is. This is where each one of us is supposed to be, and you can count on me as your mayor to finish the job that we have started. Which isn't to say I'm not going to be working hard on the 2020 campaign, so I welcome you to join me in bringing some sanity back to this country. But that's for another day. The reason why LA is a leader, when you think about this city right now, we don't just talk about the future, we embody it. We don't avoid our challenges, we embrace them and try to find a way forward. Right now, Los Angeles is literally defining the global economy. In the midst of a trade war, expanding our trade at the port, welcoming more units in ever of cargo, welcoming more passengers to LAX, investing in that biggest port in the Americas and second biggest airport in the country with more dollars than any other of their peers. Los Angeles is setting the standard for transportation, investing $120 billion, which is the largest measure times 2 in American history, to build 15 rapid transit lines and maintain them and invest in 787,000 jobs. That's the metro table, I can tell. I can't even see you, but you're clapping over there because the voters said we want a better future. LA is building the green economy of the future. In just 5.5 years together, with many of you in this room, we've built 29,000 green jobs. To put that in perspective, that's 60% of all the coal jobs left in America. We did that in a city with 1% of the population in just 5 years. We are showing the future that will save this planet and save our economy. And at the same time, we are setting the standard for gender equity, for racial justice, for economic opportunity. This chamber helped more than almost quadruple the number of youth jobs in the summertime, and I invite every employer out there to join us for Hire LA's Youth so that every young person in every zip code can have a paid internship in Hollywood, in the energy industry, in government, in whatever their dreams are, and that she can grow up to see them as well. And this chamber has stepped up with a conscience unlike any I've seen in America to tackle our biggest challenge, to preserve the Los Angeles and the California and the American dream, to make sure that we build the housing that takes people out of tents, that keeps the middle class here, and then make sure that our prosperity will last for another generation. We need to bring everybody home. And not only passing Measure HHH and Measure H, not only having a governor now who comes, I am so excited to have Gavin Newsom, a former mayor, who, before we even ask, is putting more money in the budget so that the state joins our fight to end homelessness here and in San Francisco and in San Diego and throughout this state. We will not just address homelessness, we will end it in this decade here in Los Angeles. So my friends, it might be cloudy outside tonight, but I bet the sun is coming tomorrow. And we know that as we do what is right, our simple vision of going back to the basics at City Hall, to make sure that we balance our budgets, to make sure that we invest in technology in the future. You now are part of a city that is the #1 digital city in America, that Bloomberg picks as the best run city hall in America, the place where we now are getting the job done, and we want you to continue putting people back to work as we make LA work again. And I'll end with this quotation from Robert Browning, a poet who you all know, who wrote a beautiful poem, and there's a line in it that says, "A man's reach must always exceed his grasp." And we should add to that a woman's grasp, too. That our reach should always exceed our grasp. In other words, our history in this nation is filled with those who reached for things they themselves could not hold. Slaves who battled for an end of slavery even though they died in chains. Women who struggled for the right to vote even though they never got that right in this country where women haven't even voted for 100 years. People who dreamed of building a business like my grandparents who owned a barber shop and 2 blocks away who made men's suits, immigrants and children of immigrants from other lands. Let us make sure that we are always bold and brave. LA is a vision of this nation's future and of the world today. We must never, never stop reaching for that. And maybe, just maybe, we will hold in our grasps that city that we all dream of. Thank you, Chamber of Commerce, and have a wonderful dinner. God bless Los Angeles. Thank you.